Good morning, Westerville class of 2023. My name is Mrs. Baldwin, and I am the Career Tech and College Readiness Coordinator for Westerville City Schools. And one of my roles is to support the graduation planning process. And I'm excited to be here with you today to share about graduation plans for our sophomores. This morning, we are live streaming, so you are seeing this presentation live from my office. And there is no opportunity yet to ask questions or interact via chat. There will be an opportunity at the end of this live stream for you to join a Google Meet room in which you can ask any questions that you might have. Those rooms will be staffed by school counselors and myself. Little housekeeping before we get started with our presentation. Documents have been emailed to you this morning with links to different resources, and we will go through those in the presentation today. I encourage you to listen through the presentation and not necessarily try to follow along by logging into your grad plan as we go along, so you get an idea of what you will see. We do have detailed instructions for you to follow with screenshots after if you'd like, and then there will be a chance for you to log in and ask questions after the presentation. This presentation is being recorded and will be shared out with all sophomores at the end of this week as well. So let's talk a little bit about why we are having you do a graduation plan in the first place. First and foremost, we know that research shows us that setting goals equals results. And in fact, a 2015 study by psychologist Gail Matthews showed that when people wrote down their goals, they were 33% more successful in achieving them versus those who just formulated outcomes in their heads. And we know that high school is a really important journey in getting you prepared and ready for the next steps. And we want to make sure that you are meeting those goals that you're setting yourself. Creating a graduation plan also puts your team on the same page. So this is not a journey that you travel alone. Your school team and your family are here to support you. And by recording down those goals, we have a better understanding of what supports you need to meet those goals. If we know your interest and future career goals, we can then design different activities and resources to help you meet those, as well as share specific opportunities with you based on those interests. And last but not least, it is a state requirement. It is part of the new graduation requirements for the class of 2023 and beyond. Speaking of those new graduation requirements, you have heard information about those new requirements during the scheduling process. And just a reminder that in addition to earning 20 high school credits, you also have to demonstrate competency, and most oftentimes that's going to be by earning a competency benchmark on the Algebra 1 and English 2 Ohio State test, as well as demonstrate readiness by earning 2 graduation seals. And we're going to talk a little bit more about those seals during this presentation. I mentioned those graduation seals. There are 12 different seals to choose from, including 9 state seals and 3 locally defined seals that were created based on state guidance. And those 3 locally defined seals are the Student Engagement Seal, the Community Service Seal, and the Fine and Performing Arts Seal. Within those 2 graduation seals that you're required to earn for graduation, at least one has to be a state-defined seal. As you go through the graduation planning process, not only is it a new process for you, but a new process for us as well in this format. And we have developed several resources to support you along the way, and we will continue to develop resources based on your needs and questions that you have. There are a few resources I want to point out this morning. And again, these were linked in an email that you received, and you will also receive a follow-up email with this information. And know that today is really a first opportunity to learn about graduation plans, to dig in and try it out. You have other opportunities, both virtual and in person, to work on your graduation plan this spring. So as we go through today, if you have questions and they don't maybe get answered right away, have no fear. We will revisit this throughout the spring so that you will be all set. we are asking students to complete their graduation plans for this school year by April 30th. And the graduation plan process will be a yearly process that you take on as you go throughout your high school career. So next winter, before you're getting ready for the scheduling process for the following school year, we will take another look at your graduation plan and update it as needed. Because as you take classes and you learn more about your interests and you have different experiences, your plan may change, and that's okay. And we want to record that, and it will be a neat opportunity to see the evolution of your plan and goals when you graduate. So those resources I mentioned, a graduation plan how-to website. We are trying to put all things planning for future in one spot that's easy to access for you. The short link right now is tiny.cc/WCS grad plan. Note that WCS is in all caps. And this will be linked on our district website as well. And there are going to be specific resources from today's live stream. You'll be able to see the recording, a worksheet, and other links that you may need. We will be using a tool called Transio to record and monitor your graduation plan, and you can access that tool at tiny.cc/Transio with a capital T. This will also be bookmarked in your Westerville bookmarks this week. And last but not least, we do have grad plan instructions with screenshots. If you're more a person that really would rather read directions to understand how to do something, those are available for you. And you can access them on that graduation plan how-to website as well. So we're going to jump into the graduation plan in Transio so you can get a sense of what you are going to be completing when you develop your graduation plan. To log into your graduation plan, you do visit tiny.cc/Transio. You will see the icon on the screen there, and you will click sign in with Google. What's really nice is you don't have another username and password to worry about. You just sign in using your Westerville login information. Once you log in, you will see, I'm going to jump here to our test student, a dashboard. And this is my test student, James, that I use to demonstrate graduation plans. And when you first log in, it's going to be pretty blank because you haven't added any information. James here has started work on his graduation plan. So you'll see that some of that information he submitted, like what career cluster he's interested in and what graduation seals he wants to work towards, show up in the dashboard. Once you complete that graduation plan, these will show up and you can get a quick glance at what your progress is towards meeting those graduation seals. You can see here for the science seal, it's completely filled in. James has met this seal, and when I click on that seal, it'll tell me what requirement I met. So he earned a 3 on the biology Ohio State assessment, and that has earned him the science seal. You can also see progress towards a seal, and James has made some progress towards the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness Seal. And you can see here that he's submitted and been approved for the work ethic skill. He still has to submit evidence for these skills here, and he has sent his mentor a request to verify his reliability and is waiting for that mentor to submit that. We will go and dive in more to specific seals at a later time. Today, we're focusing just on the graduation plan, but what's really neat about Transio is that it's going to track all the pieces and parts of any seal for you so that you can see where you are at any time. Another seal that James has selected and wants to work towards is Certified Student Engagement Seal. This is one of our local seals. You'll see that no progress has been made here yet. And you see that James has indicated that he's going to participate in 2 seal eligible clubs, and he has not yet submitted documentation of that participation, so that's incomplete. Also on your dashboard, you'll notice tasks that may be assigned to you by the College and Career Readiness Office or your high school. And right now, your first task is to complete the graduation plan for the 2021 school year, and we are asking students to complete that by April 30th. Again, you're going to have multiple opportunities to work with your school team in completing your graduation plan. Down below are some additional pieces that we will be rolling out starting next fall. Transio will be an opportunity for you to record any community service or participation in clubs and groups, so that when you graduate, not only will you leave high school with an academic transcript that details the coursework that you took and the grades you earned in those courses, but you'll also have an experiential transcript that shows the depth of all of the activities and work that you did within the classroom and beyond that will support your applications and your resumes that you develop. The one piece that we will be focusing on today is the My Plan, and this is where you find your graduation plan piece. And again, you're welcome to explore these other tabs, and you will be learning more about them throughout this year and next fall. So for your graduation plan, you see here, there's an introduction to the graduation plan, and then an overview of your current test performance, your current attendance, your GPA, both weighted and unweighted, and then your ACT and SAT scores, if you have taken those assessments, will show here. This information is pulled from PowerSchool. So if you see an error, please contact your school counselor. It's something we need to fix on the PowerSchool end as well. This credits tracking piece here is going to launch in fall of 2021, and you will be able to see your progress towards meeting that first component of the graduation requirements and earning the 20 credits for graduation. Right now, everyone will show 0, and this is not yet active. Down below your summary information is the start of where you will enter information about your graduation plan. First up is your career cluster. For each section in your graduation plan, if you click the plus sign, it will expand that section, and you can also show more to see additional instructions here. And for your career cluster, there are 16, all jobs in the United States have been categorized into 16 different career clusters, and we're asking you to share where your interest and skill sets fall right now in this point in time. Again, this may change as you go along, and that's okay. But understanding what career cluster is an area of interest for you helps us develop activities and also align different resources to your interest. If you are not sure which career cluster might be a good fit for you, there is a career cluster finder assessment that you can take on the Ohio Jobs website. There's also a U Science profile if you want something that's more in depth that you can take, and you should have a link to the U Science profile in your email already. And if you have any questions, there is a flyer on our website as well that you can access. You can always reach out to me as well. Once you choose your career cluster of interest, you can also share how you made that determination. So for instance, James took the U Science assessment and had a conversation with his school counselor. When you enter that information, you will click save, and it saves that information. You see down here that success, your section was saved. Next up are career goals. And we're interested in knowing what specific career goals you have right now at this point in time. Again, this may change, and this gives us an idea of what your goals are so we can better support you. You see here, James wants to be a teacher, and he will click save to save that. Next up is your post-high school plan. And again, this has you thinking for the future, and it gives you an opportunity to backwards plan too. If you know what your career goals are and what you want to do after high school, that's going to help you better choose your high school courses. If you are not sure, that's okay too. Your high school experience can help you really formulate what that plan is. So post-high school plan, expand it. You can choose your options here. If you are undecided, you can put that right now and click save. We are also asking that you choose an alternate route to research during your high school career. Plans change, things come up, and we want to make sure that you are researching different options so that as your plan does grow with you, you understand all of the different options that are available to you after graduation. So James will have chosen another pathway that he'll research and look into through his high school career, and click Save. The next part in your graduation plan is to demonstrate competency. Or you're going to determine how you're going to demonstrate competency. And when you expand this section, I mentioned that most students will earn a competency benchmark on the Algebra 1 and English 2 Ohio State test. You'll see here, if you've taken those tests, what your scores are and how they compare to those benchmarks. Right now, the benchmark is set at a scale score of 684. You can see James has taken both tests and met the benchmark, the competency benchmark for Algebra 1, but has not yet met it for English 2. So he will be working on a plan to retake that assessment. And you can see he was pretty close to that benchmark score too. So he may talk with his English teacher and his school counselor on a plan to tackle that retake. Here you will determine and share how you will beat your competency benchmark. Most students, again, will earn the passing score in both the Algebra 1 and English 2 Ohio State tests. And I would encourage for us starting out with this graduation planning process for you to go ahead and choose this option. If you don't happen to earn those benchmark scores, there are also alternative ways to demonstrate competency, including enlisting in the military, earning college credit in non-remedial math and English course, depending on which area you need to demonstrate competency in, or demonstrating 2 career focus activities, such as earning an industry credential and completing the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness Seal. If you would like more information about these options, be sure to connect with your school counselor. So James is going to choose that he's going to earn passing score on the Algebra 1 English 2 test. And he's going to move down to the plan to demonstrate readiness. In addition to competency, you need to choose at least 2 graduation seals to show your readiness to earn your high school diploma. In this section, you have an opportunity to scroll through the different seal options by clicking the next button. So it will rotate through the different seal options. For each seal, you'll be able to see if it is a state or local seal. And remember, you need to have at least 1 state seal as part of your graduation requirements. And depending on the seal, you may have to add some additional information. So for our Career Tech Honors Diploma, one of the requirements for that honors diploma is earning world language credit. And so you will share how you plan on earning, what language you want to study or you're planning on enrolling in. When you find a seal you want to add, you click Add the Seal to Plan. And then it will show in your list here as selected seals. As you're going through and selecting seals, consider your interest, and you can also, when you choose a seal, if you find that maybe you don't want to have that seal as part of your plan, you can click the Remove the Seal button, and then that will remove it from your list. I encourage you as we start this graduation planning process to not add just every seal possible, but really consider and hone in on what your interests and skills are to choose your seals. If you start with 2 or 3 and you want to add more along the way, you can certainly do so. Once you choose your seal options, and those save automatically as you click Add the Seal to Plan, you'll come down to the next section, which is your 4-year class plan. So in addition to demonstrating competency and readiness, you do need to earn at least 20 high school credits. And you are current sophomore, so we are asking that you think back to last year and record the courses that you did take. You want to add your classes that you are enrolled in this year. And then you may have already planned out your course request for next school year. You can add that information for grade 11, and then think ahead to grade 12 and what would be that next course that you would take. For instance, you need 4 English credits for graduation. You may have an idea what you want to take next year. What's your plan for your senior year? This is not a plan that you have to follow. This is not an official course request. This is really giving you and your team an idea of what courses you plan to take so we can help you meet those goals. You will choose a class for English, math, science, social studies. You'll determine when you want to take your health and PE courses and earn that credit, and then there are options for electives at the bottom. If you took a high school course in 8th grade and earned high school credit, that will not show up here, and that's okay. This record is really just, or plan is showing what you're taking during your 4 years of high school. So if I took Algebra 1 last year or as an 8th grader, then my math plan would look like this. I may have taken geometry in Algebra 2 this year. I want to take pre-calc next year and plan to take AP Calc my senior year. As you move on to the bottom here, the final section of your graduation plan is areas to grow. And in this section, there's an opportunity to choose some different skills that, in addition to working on your academic foundation and coursework, that you are planning to grow and hone throughout your next school year. So when you click on this box, you'll see a list of potential skills. Some folks call these soft skills. I like to call them essential skills that you want to make a goal to work on this over the next year. You can choose up to 3. So James might choose attendance and be maybe working on test taking skills this year, as well as homework completion. So click Save to save those in my plan. And the last section here are listing any trusted adults that support your journey. I mentioned earlier that your journey through high school is not one that you take by yourself. You do have a support team available to you, and knowing who those are can help your team keep you on track. To add a trusted adult to your plan, click the Add Person button, and you will fill in the information. If you're not sure about the person's email, you can say not sure. And then when you fill out that information, you will click Save. Note that each of these fields is required, so you do need to type something in those to save a trusted adult. If you find that you enter something and it's not correct, you can also remove someone from your list as well. Once you complete all of those sections, you are ready to submit your graduation plan for approval. That process is that when you click that green button, your graduation plan is emailed to your parent or guardian, and that email that is found in PowerSchool is the email that it will be sent to. And your parent or guardian will have opportunity to see an overview of your graduation plan and provide any feedback to you and your school counselor. Once your parent guardian submits their acknowledgement and feedback, that graduation plan then gets forwarded to your school counselor for review, and they will provide feedback, and then your graduation plan will be complete. Again, this will be a living document, so while it will be complete and set for this spring, we will be revisiting your graduation plan and making adjustments next school year as well. One last part down here, for feedback and status history, you can always come back to this page and you can see what feedback your family or school counselor has left. You can also add your own feedback here if you have any questions. And then status history will give you an idea of where your graduation plan is in the process. This is my test account, so there are lots of entries here, but you'll see that you'll know when your grad plan is sitting with your parent or guardian in their email, and then when it is sitting with your school counselor for review. So that is a quick overview of your graduation plan in Transio. Again, to get to this site, you will visit tiny.cc/Transio and sign in with your Google account. we are going to have, and actually I'm going to wait just a minute here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to show you two other resources before our question rooms open up. We do have an opportunity at the end of this session for you to jump into a Google Meet room and ask any questions that you may have about your graduation plan or graduation requirements. I do want to again point out a couple of resources that are available to you to help through this process. One is our future planning hub that is going live just today, and you will be finding this on our district website by the end of the week. There is a link in your email and in resources to this site, but this is where we'll be hosting any and all information about future planning and graduation requirements. It'll be a one-stop shop for you. We also have a graduation plan how-to, session details. So recording from today's session will be available on this page here, as well as links that you may need, including that login to Transio, the grad plan handbook for students. And if you have any questions about Transio or the grad plan that maybe don't get answered today, or you have in general, there is a Google form that you can submit questions. If you add your contact information, you will receive a response. And we will also be building out a frequently asked questions page for students and families to reference as we go through the graduation planning process together. So we do have an opportunity for you to ask questions at this time, and we have 3 different rooms that will be open. If you go to meet.google.com, if you have questions about graduation seals, you'll want to use the join code GRADSEAL, and school counselors will be able to answer your questions about that. How to map out your courses for all 4 years. If you have questions about that process, use the join code COURSEMAP. And if you need any tech help or navigating Transio support, I'm going to be available in that Google Meet room with the join code Transio. Please note too the caps or the capital letters there. That is important when you're joining a Meet code. So when you go to Transio, you want to put in that capital T. Thank you again for joining us this morning. If you have any questions, please know that we'll be sure to get those answered. You will have additional opportunities in the next month to walk through the graduation planning process with other school faculty, as well as some other virtual sessions. Stay tuned to your email and Schoology for more information. Thanks for joining us this morning.